show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Trying to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, and see the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the outlaw. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, man, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in PPR final, man. Man, this is becoming quite a tragedy, man, watching the Pelicans play. This was not a good officiated game. This was poor. And I just find myself keep saying the same thing about these referees, but my goodness, the effort by the Pelicans, man. 3 straight losses by the Pelicans. It's not looking good, man. We're going to recap this thing, man. Shout out to the flock. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I'm Big Q. Man, what can I say about this game tonight, fam? I'm just outdone by the last 3 games, man. At home with the Pelicans, man. Knowing what's on the table. Now, the referees tonight were just wholly horrible tonight. They stunk to the highest heaven. They were awful. They were just trash. It was awful. The undercutting of Zion Williamson, we'll see what that's coming to. The guy was diving for the ball, but chopped Zion's legs from up under him. Just crazy stuff, man. I watched in the game. I don't know who these officials are, but it was all just horrible. And the Pelicans didn't make it better. The third quarter, of course, the first half wasn't all that. Then they opened up. They were only trailing by 3 points coming out of the second, after halftime. And they only put up 23 points. They were outscored by 12 in the third. And then that kind of helped spawn the rest of this thing. But, man, what can I tell you, fam? I'm at a loss for words. But anyway, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to Pelicans. Nola, good to see you, fam. Matthew, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. Daniel, how you doing, man? Appreciate you for chopping in. Tramal, shout out. Mary K, how you doing? 504 Code says Q, it's time to move on from Willie. Dude can't make adjustments, and he's clueless. He lost control of that game and didn't have to be that way. Way horrible use of timeouts, too. I can't argue against nothing you guys are saying, man. It's just I respect Willie, his temperament, how he stays calm, his demeanor at times. But sometimes, like, well, look what was happening in the game with the Pelicans. You had all the players getting thrown out at the end of the game. They were rebelling. And I know it was later on in the game, you're seeing that kind of stuff happening, but Willie's got to let go at sometimes. He got to cause a scene. You got to. And I know he wants to try to save his little old bread. He ain't hurting that damn bad when you could take a tech. hell, they'll pay for it. You know, I'm trying to save my little old money. He said, man, you got these guys and beyond Zion, they'll pay for your goddamn fine. Lose control, you know? So, I mean, it is what it is. Mary Kay, shout out to you, says, this is why I get frustrated with Willie. No adjustments. We were down by that much, and Jayhawk didn't sniff the floor. I don't know. His adjustments, these games, man, when you see these type of games, man, it's horrible. But anyway, let's go to Willie Green, man. He's on the podium right now talking. Let's see if y'all can stand what he got to say. Yes.
Themselves. What did you see in the second and third quarters?
Well, they're a big team. They got in the paint, got to the free throw line. You know, they made some shots, and we battled the guys. It came down to the last, couple minutes of the game, but we once again, you look at the third quarter and 21 points. It goes back to putting together a full 48 minutes.
Can you describe what happened at the end of the game? I know frustrations were boiling over, but you had three guys thrown out of the ballgame.
Yeah, our frustration, like you said, Graf, it boiled over, and we have to keep our composure. Look, I get it. Some calls aren't going our way. We feel like other teams are getting those calls, and our guys are frustrated about it, rightfully so. And I'm okay with battling, and there's some times where guys get attacked here and there, but at the end of the game, we have to keep our composure. Game's over pretty much, and we got to take it. We lost. We got to be able to take that sometimes.
Brought up the offense in the third quarter. Just what do you feel like you guys could have done better in that quarter to put some more points up?
Yeah, we got to create some stops first and foremost, and then capitalize on our opportunities to get out and play in the open floor. But they did a great job of packing the paint on Zion, making us take tough shots, and then they hit a few big threes to start that quarter, and that got them on a run.
Yeah, why do you think the 3-point attempts were kind of low again tonight?
They're one of the best defenses in the league, and that's what they do. They do a great job of taking away your paint opportunities, and they close out extremely hard to your shooter. So they make you put the ball on the floor, and that's what they did tonight.
I don't think Z played in the final 7 minutes. Is he okay physically? Just what did you see there?
He had something going on with his finger. I'm not quite sure what it is at the moment, but we'll have an update for you guys soon.
Was that the reason he left the game initially, or was that something related to the what's it, Gary Harris?
He left the game originally because something was going on with his finger. I'm not sure exactly what the diagnosis is at the moment, but I'm hoping he's okay. And like I said, we'll have an update for you guys shortly.
What are your thoughts just on the state of the team right now? Losing 4 of the last 5 during this homestand we've talked about, and kind of just the way the game ended with frustrations being as high as they were.
This is exactly that. It's frustrating, but this is a part of it. It's not going to be easy to go where we want to go, and this is a part of the NBA journey. Is that we put ourselves in an unbelievably good position, but we have to run through the tape. And I think we got 6 games left. We got to put it together, and that's the deal for us. But it's definitely frustrating losing some of these games. I know we want to be better, and we will, but right now we got to regroup, keep our heads up, and continue to go after it. The season got 6 games left, so that's the deal for us.
How high was the level of concern just because of the fact that that they were just a more physical team for most of the night? They used their physicality throughout the game, and it seemed like y'all had a hard time kind of responding.
Yeah, we knew that going in. They're a big physical team, and they pride themselves on being able to rebound, keep teams out of the paint defensively. They're good defense. They're long. They're active. But it boils down to the same thing that's been happening in the last few games is trying to put together a 48-minute game, or in the 40s will give us a better chance to win. And we had that one quarter where, we couldn't score, and they scored 33 points.
I think Larry also left the game at some point. He wasn't playing at the point.
He was a little under the weather today.
Coach, heading into the postseason, you want to be playing your best basketball. What do you feel like this team has to do to get to that level?
Keep staying steady through adversity. Simple. Do what we do. Come in. We'll watch film. We'll have a good practice. and you get back on the floor and you do it again. All right, thanks.
Willie Green, man. Willie Green starting to sound like a broken record, man. 3 of the last 4, man. 3 and 4 of the last 4 contests. And this is not the type of situation that you want to be a part of if you're the New Orleans Pelicans. 6 games remaining in the schedule. Friday, we'll face off against the Spurs. A lot of people anticipate that should be when the Pelicans break the 3-game slide they're currently on. Doesn't bode well because a lot of these games that we looked at, whether it was, you look at the Boston game, you looked at the Phoenix game, or tonight's matchup against Orlando. Yesterday, well, not yesterday, the last show, PPR final, we recapped the loss to the Suns. Then I kind of went into the history of the Orlando Magic. The Pelicans, especially over the last couple of years, this is a terrible matchup for the Pelicans. Terrible. And it's not just the fact that Orlando's extremely athletic and they just have a mash of different players that can do a lot of things, but they're also a motivated, high-effort team. Mosley has these young guys playing at another level. They've taken over, I think, the Southwest down there. They're the top team in the Southwest. I mean, in the South, where the hell is they play out of? They've been doing a hell of a job anyway, man. All I can say is that I just love how they play the game. They do high effort. They're up by a lot, and they're still kicking ass. And oftentimes, like when we watch what happens with the Pelicans, like tonight, man, matching the intensity and the energy of these people that we're playing, that's a big part of it. The Southeast, I'm sorry. They're up in the Southeast now they're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They're 2.5 games above the Miami Heat in the Southeast, the Orlando Magic. Currently the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're a serious team. We've had a lot of problems with this team, especially over the last couple of years. Mosley, shout out to Coach Mosley over there with Orlando. He took a young team, and they were a struggling ass franchise for a while, and he took that team, a bunch of first-round draft picks and players, and turned them into a solid unit. And Mosley came on the scene and took the job the same time Willie Green took the job here. And and I don't want to put Willie Green down, but this is not the way. This is not how it's supposed to look. This is terrible, man. This is awful. When you facing down, you got San Antonio, you got Phoenix again on Sunday in their building. And Pelicans do play better on the road. Maybe this is, I don't know. There's none of this makes any sense to me. But, you're thinking they beat San Antonio. You got Phoenix, who could beat the Pelicans down. I don't know what they're going to do. Portland, they might be able to get the win, but Sacramento are playing better. Golden State is motivated. And the Lakers, of course, the Lakers are the Lakers. It's just looking at these 6 games, man, I thought a better effort by the Pelicans. This is all very sad, man. This is sad because we wanted to see what the hell the Pelicans look like against tougher teams, stiff competition. Well, we got our answer, didn't we? We got our answer. We seen what they look like against Boston. Let opportunity slip away. We seen what they look like tonight against Orlando, not matching the intensity. Not to mention the fact that they had these shitty referees. We always have a problem with this, and I've often for this season have been saying this a lot. When I say that this is one of the worst officiated games that I've seen in a while with the Pelicans, how often have you been hearing me say that? It has gotten so bad that even the commentators, and I know that some of these broadcast people are told not to bash the referees or try to say too much bad stuff about the referees, but even some of these games, when you watch the game and you hear even the broadcasters are criticizing, I mean, saying none of this makes any sense. This is not consistent. This is not consistent. It is awful officiating. This tonight was probably the worst game that I've seen officials do. It was an incredibly shitty game for the referees. It was awful. But then again, the Pelicans as well with their effort wasn't a complete effort today. They didn't match this team's intensity. And we know coming into this game that this team plays with a lot of intensity, plays with a lot of effort. We didn't consistently do that, fam. We didn't. And we deserved to lose this matchup. Now let's look at the statistics, Western Conference statistics, if you can stomach it. The Pelicans currently, let me refresh this stuff, man. Let me refresh this because we refresh the standings. Okay, there we go. These are the standings currently, fam. As you can see, the Pelicans are sitting after 3 straight losses. They're 5-5 over the last 10 games. They're what, 1-4 over the last 4 games, and they're losers of 3 in a row. They're losers of 3 in a row. They're 45-31. And guess what? The Suns play tonight. The Suns are currently beating, who are they beating? They're playing the Cavaliers right now, and the Suns are in the middle of the second period. They're beating Cleveland 44-28. So that's something you can look out for. But the Pelicans deserve every goddamn bit of this, man. Even though we missing a few guys, that is no excuse for this type of play. This type of play, man. No excuse. Absolutely no excuse at all. But let's jump into some of the team statistics, fam. And then we'll wait for when somebody else pops up to the podium. We'll cover it as well. All right. In the matchup, 36 of 76 for the Pelicans for 47.4%. They were 12 of 29 from downtown for 41.4%. Got to the foul line 28 times, converted 24 of 28 for almost 86%. Probably one of the few bright spots that we had. Rebounds, they were out rebounded by Orlando tonight, 39-35, not by much. Orlando was 41 of 80 for over 51%. They were 13 of 32 for downtown for almost 41%, 22 of 30 from the foul line for 73.3%. Pelicans 21 assists versus Orlando's 27. They were 9-all with the steals, 2-1 on the blocks. The numbers went up. The turnovers went up for the Pelicans. After a couple of games of having single-digit turnovers, the Pelicans' turnovers went up tonight to 14. Orlando's 13. 22-4 on the fast break points for the Pelicans, and 46-48 advantage the Orlando Magic in the points of the paint situation. But we all knew how this ended. Like, it was a kind of a shaky game early on, and they had some things going on. It wasn't completely where it was. And then when you got to halftime, they were only trailing by 3. They opened up the third quarter and scored 21 points in the third. They were all scored by 12 in the third, and that led on into the rest of the game. And everybody else just got going. Paolo got going. Guys were shooting 3-pointers that don't usually shoot 3-pointers, and were knocking them down. Their physicality and length, and then they ratcheted up the effort, and you've seen it. They got more physical with the Pelicans, and they were able to sustain this lead. You go into the box statistics now. Individual box statistics for our Pelicans, and the leader tonight was CJ McCollum in 41 minutes of action, 36 points and 10 rebounds to go along with 4 assists and 2 steals for CJ. 10 of 24 from the field, 5 of 12 from downtown. He was perfect from the foul line, 11 of 11. And then, of course, the next highest scorer was a guy off the bench by the name of Dyson Daniels. He played in 21 minutes, and Dyson had a phenomenal game. He's been playing a lot better since that first game when he came back. He was a little, a little tippet. He was a little skittish. But 16 points tonight by Dyson Daniels, 6 of 8 from the field. He hit 4 3-pointers tonight. So Dyson was balling. One of the bright spots for the Pelicans, 16 points, 3 assists, and a couple of steals for Dyson Daniels. And then, of course, you see 15 from Zion in 29 minutes, 7 of 16 from the field, 1 of 4 from the foul line. He finished with 5 points and only 2 rebounds, along with 15 points. 14 for Trey Murphy in 37 minutes of action, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown. He was 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 14 points for him with 7 boards. They made a conscious effort to make sure Trey Murphy doesn't kill him. And they limited Trey to just 14 points to now. Vail in 19 minutes of action, just 19 minutes for Vail, gave him 11.6 rebounds in the matchup, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from the foul line for him and nobody else in double digits. Herb Jones finished with 41 minutes. That's the most in the game, tied with CJ McCollum. 6 points for him. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 0 from 1 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 points, 1 steal and assist for Herb Jones in the matchup. And of course, you go into the bench and see the Najee Marshall in 26 minutes finished with 8 points, 3 assists, and 3 boards. Then you had all of the foolishness about the ejections in the back of the game. A lot of frustrations by the Pelicans as Orlando do it to them again. Orlando not only stretches out, they swept the Pelicans on the regular season matchup. They've beaten the Pelicans every game since we only play them twice a year, each year, and we haven't beaten this team since December of 2021. And it's starting to show you that, yeah, styles make fights. Orlando is a tough matchup for the Pelicans, especially when we don't have a second best scorer. But anyway, regardless or not, this is what it is, man. You go look at Orlando and what they did. Paolo was the man, 32 points in 38 minutes of action, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for him, 24 points from Wagner. In the matchup in 33 minutes, he did his thing. He was 3 of 6 from downtown, 24 points to carry up, and then 18 off the bench for the other. Then Mo Wagner off the bench, 18 points from him and 3 rebounds and 14 from Wendell Carter Jr. with 11 rebounds in 24 minutes. Very efficient by Wendell Carter Jr., who also likes to play the Pelicans. Wendell Carter he has very successful games against our Pelicans. In 24 minutes, he would double, 14 and 11 for Wendell Carter to go along with 3 assists. So Gary Harris didn't really do too much. Suggs, who had a decent game against us the last time around, only 7 points, but a lot of effort plays. And Isaac, man, Isaac played in 22 minutes tonight off the bench. He had 8 points and 5 rebounds, 1 steal in the block. He caused all kind of problems for the Pelicans. I guess if Willie Green is here, he might want to see if he can pinpoint and go after Isaac, since he don't like to play Valanciunas. He might want to pencil in. I was like, man, and and that's how I did too. Me and DC was talking about that, I think yesterday. He's like, man, they need to go out and get Isaac, man. I was like, Isaac, why, man? Is he? And he might have a point on that. But anyway, yes, fam, this was horrible, man. This was a stinking, rotten game by the officials. The Pelicans' effort wasn't all that, man. They didn't come to play a full, complete game. Zion Williamson is dealing with some type of injury. Willie Green said in the press conference, which is why I wanted to hear what he wanted to hear. Fallon was saying, "Q, turn that off." They give him the Dennis Allen treatment. But I wanted to hear what Willie Green had to say about Zion's injury and what was going on with that, because the guy undercut him. He got up and then they walked him off into the back, and then he came back, and then Willie said it was something dealing with his finger. So hopefully with BI down, oh my goodness, man, with BI down, and man, we can't afford to lose Zion with 6 games remaining, fam. We can't afford to lose Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram with 6 games. Where BI is already out. He's supposed to be coming back. They're saying hopefully before the regular season ends. We've heard that before, by the way. But we can't afford to lose Zion Williamson. So hopefully it's not something dire and severe with Zion Williamson. So let's see. This is man, damn, man. To be a Pelican faithful, man. To be a Pelican faithful, boy, oh boy, is it something else. Because in the time frame, we finally see this collection of players finally arrive after all of the years of the injuries that was occurring that kind of stop us from seeing what the team looks like. We finally get a glimpse of them playing this year. It's some things to be excitable about, a lot to fix, and a lot of wrinkles to iron. But if you're already out BI, and now Zion has some type of finger injury, so I don't know what's going on. We just have to see what's going on with that, fam. But hopefully it's nothing that'll keep him out for extended period of time. Hopefully it's nothing dire, is what I'm saying. What it would cost any portion of these remaining 6 games, because of course we got the Spurs coming up. We need to beat the Spurs, and then the Suns are another matchup. And the Pelicans, with 6 games remaining, man, they got to win. I don't know. It's easy to say that they're going to win. You want them to win all 6, but that obviously is not going to happen. Something is not right here. The effort, and it shouldn't be all the speeches about playing with effort at this juncture of time. We're at a point in time where all of this, you should know. Look, man, we can't be having losing streaks. We can't be having losing streaks right now. We can't do it. Willie, lose yourself, man. What was that old Eminem song back in the day? Lose yourself. Remember that stuff? That's what the hell we need to be playing for Willie Green, man. Willie Green got, if some gun cut Zion Williamson, I know the man was not trying to hurt him, but he dived around Zion's lower leg area. You don't, even though it wasn't intentional, still and all, pitch a bitch, do something, lose yourself, get excitable, do something. Just don't sit here and lose yourself. God damn it. Your job, your job is on the line, fam. I mean, seriously. And I'm not trying to cast aspersions, trying to say anything negative about my Pelicans. Most High knows that, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you don't want to end up in the play-in. You don't want that, because you know who's going to be there, right? You know who you're going to probably end up matching up with in the play-in. You don't want to be in the play-in. The Pelicans don't. You know what that means in the play-in. They had an opportunity. They had all of we had it, man. And once again, the story is we let it slip out of our grasp. So anyway, we're going to get ready to move into the preview of the matchup against the Spurs. But before we get into it, let me bring Lex in. Shout out to y'all. Y'all, please feel free to hit the like button, man. Yeah, I know. Eugene says, cute. This is straight up depressing, bro. Enough said. Yeah, bro, I know, man. The officiating tonight was just dreadful. And I said, family, in games prior, I said, man, this is probably one of the most horribly officiated NBA games I've ever seen. Tonight, to me, was the worst. And it's always a new low with these rotten, stinking, unprofessional, crazy, blind, inconsistent, non-rule following ass people. I said it all the time. These are not officials, family. Nothing that they do is consistent and makes sense. These people are blowing the damn whistle. It's all judged based on their emotions. It don't have nothing to do with the game or about whatever the damn rule book is they supposed to be following. What rule book are they following? That's what I want to know. All of this shit is driven by their emotions, because that's what it looks like to me. None of it is consistent. It is not consistent. It is totally garbage. And I said it all the time as a Pelican man, I see that as just tonight was horrible. And then you compound that with the fact that the Pelicans' effort was inconsistent as well. So anyway, shout out to y'all, man. He says, Q, the Pels played the league. Yeah, oh man, dude. But my biggest problem with the Pelicans tonight, family, is the effort and the urgency. Right now, with 6 games remaining to retain your spot at the 6th position, you have to break the losing streak. You got to play with effort. Orlando played with effort. They ratcheted up the effort in the second half. They built a 12-point lead in the third. The Pelicans scored 21 in the third quarter. And then Orlando kept them at arm's distance, just like what Phoenix did. When the Pels tried to make a run in the Phoenix game, they just kept them at arm's distance. Orlando got physical with them in the second half. It just equals up to nothing. Then, of course, all the stuff with Willie. I'm going to let Lex talk about Willie. She got a master's in that, man. She'll break that down. So we're going to bring her in here. Stephanie says, Q, what have you did with DC? You haven't been on. No. I haven't done anything with DC, man. I haven't bought DC a ticket down to Jamaica and then had them to shut his passport off. I did not do any of those things. DC, he's, like I said before, he's a private person. He's having some family stuff that he got going on with his family. So, he also had the movie that came out, and I don't know if the movie did very well. He might be in, I haven't checked to see if the movie did. I'm just joking about that part, but his family stuff he got going on, but he calls me and talks to me every day. And he said he'll be making an appearance coming up soon. So that's all I can really say about it, fam. Keep y'all in the loop. All right. So anyway, Matthew says, Q, can you tell me one game that Willie has outcoached the other team and won us the You are talking to the expert about Willie Green. She has a master's And breaking
Not
down,
a bachelor, but a master.
she has a master and breaking down and breaking
Don't
down.
say that, man. Big Q, man.
Nah, I'm
Big
just
Q.
saying, Lex. Come on now, Lex. So anyway, that question is a perfect segue for you. I know
I
you
just
said
asked that question a few days ago to everybody.
that you did. So
You know what I'm saying? Look, I asked everybody, look, who has he out coached? And what was everybody's answer? Pretty much.
nobody. I had to think on it. You know, I like Willie.
Nobody. It was quiet. You could hear crickets. Look, Willie Green doesn't belong in the NBA. Let me just say that. I mean, I think that's clear. I think another thing is that, and this is something that's happened all season. To have made up in your mind and have the thought process that I'm going to keep my money in my pocket, that really does tell me that emotionally and spiritually, you are not locked into the game. As a fan, I'm locked into the game. As a person who plays basketball, whatever, I'm locked into the game. I'm into the game. Like all of me, my whole being. It's not something that is half in, half out. Because Willie Green is half in and half out, like with everything that was going on, and this isn't just this game. I want to make that very clear. It's not just this game. It's been all season. The only reason why Willie Green has stood up for his players, has really challenged a cause, was after he was put on Front Street by a reporter to back either your star player or any of your players for that matter. He does not have his players back. I really do feel that way. Like, I want to give you an example. You all remember when Kawhi Leonard was playing for the Spurs and they were going up against the Warriors in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard went up for a 3-point shot attempt, and Pachulia, when he was when he was playing, he went under Kawhi's landing space. Right? Is this ringing any bells? He went under his landing space. Kawhi came down and he turned his ankle on Pachulia's foot and he went down in the playoffs. Now, mind you, the Spurs in that game were up like 30 points against Steph was out there, Clay was out there, Draymond was out there. They were killing them. They were killing them in that game. Kawhi went down, and it changed the whole complexity of that playoff run. I wanted to bring that up for a reason, because when that happened, immediately a rule was changed that when a player is airborne, and someone comes underneath them, you have to give them a landing space. You have to give them a landing space. And if you go under there, they go to the monitor to check for basically if it's a flagrant foul. But that's why that rule came into that's how that rule came into fruition. Okay? Whether it's intentional, this is that part that I want to get to. Whether it's intentional or not, they will go to the monitor and check for this play. Okay? Now, let's move to Zion. Gary Harris slipped. The dude slipped. Okay, that's fine. Cool. But you still were going towards Zion's knees. I say this because I've already seen comments from people like, and I guess maybe casual fans, maybe even some Pelicans fans, where it was a slip. It wasn't intentional. Oh, it was an accident. I'm like, really? Because let me tell you something. When guys go under, a guy who's attempting a three-point shot, that wasn't intentional either, right? To go into their landing space. It doesn't matter. People are focusing on the wrong thing. Whether that play was intentional or not intentional, you have to go to the monitor. You have to go. Look, I didn't mean to slap him in his face, but you know what? If anybody's hitting the head, if anybody is hitting the head, what do they do, y'all? Whether you meant to or not, intentions doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You hit somebody, anytime you hit someone above the shoulders. See, that's why these rules come into play. It's like you're not following the rules. You're not even following your own rules that the NBA has set. You aren't even going to go to the monitor to check to see if this was a flagrant. That's awful. That's awful. It's like if you're not even if you as an officiator are not following, if you're not following, the protocols and the rules of the game, what's the point in having them? Henceforth, and I know this was I'm upset about a lot of things. I know, but I'm talking about this because it was like just fresh on my mind. I just saw it and everything. Because actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. At halftime, I went to the store. I had to get away, but I still followed the game. But looking at that play, it doesn't matter if it's intentional or unintentional, dude. Just like in the landing space, just like if you hit a player above the shoulders or in their head, whether you meant to do it or not, they still have to go to that monitor. And this was awful. This basically sums up how the Pelicans have been treated, especially Zion, who lives in the paint and where the numbers don't match up. This has been happening to him all season. And stuff like this, look, everybody wants to make fun of Zion about, looking like a football player and different things like that. Hey, man, it's not Zion who's doing the football moves out there, people. He's not doing the football moves. It's these other tall, skinny guys, or little guys. They're the ones who are doing the football moves. This stuff has to stop, man. It has to stop. It has to stop, man. This is beyond being composure, keeping your composure, man. Bump that. Ain't nobody trying to keep their composure.
Not look at the
Hold on just a second, Lex. It goes on.
How do you just handle, like extreme?
Next question. But I'm hoping he's okay, and
the third quarter, I think was where they created a lot of the separation. Just what'd you see in the third there?
Kind of going back to what I said, kind of in the boasting game. Not only did they pick up their physicality, but they executed. We tried to match it, but we offensively we didn't execute and run our stuff with force.
Yeah, and I mean more to that. What you just see on the offensive end, I guess, besides force, if anything.
We got to attack the gaps. I don't think we're attacking the gaps with a purpose. I think we're going, but we're not doing it with a purpose. We call it 0.5 decision, and we just got to do that a lot better.
What's your feel just on the state of the team right now after losing 4 of the last 5? Big homestand and just the frustration building at the end of this game.
It is frustrating, but I've said it before. The beauty in the NBA is you got a game either the next day or the day after. So, I always tell myself on the court and off the court, don't panic, because when people panic, it causes other people to want to panic. So, no, there's no need for us to panic. We just got to come with a higher level of focus into these next few games. But like I always say, one game at a time.
And I know you talked about execution, but how much do you think just matching their physicality was an issue tonight as well?
You just got to be physical. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to be physical. They called a foul, they call it, but I'd rather us make the refs call it than not try to match it.
You left the game with the finger issue. I guess, how is it feeling? And was there? Did you feel like you would have been able to play at the end if they put you back in?
I don't want to dive too deep into that question because I don't want to say anything that's not right, to be honest. But yeah, I tweaked it a little bit. I'll have more information on it tomorrow morning. I think I'm gonna get it looked at and go from there.
Z, did you hurt that finger on that dunk attempt in the fourth quarter?
Earlier in the game, he got hit a few times, but when I went for the block on Suggs, I kind of went with force and just banged it against the backboard really hard.
6 games left. What do you guys have to do to make this playoff push a success?
Like I said, we have to have a higher level of focus. We just do. Spoke on it a lot throughout the year, but at a certain point, I just can't keep speaking on it. We got to make it happen. If we want to be one of those contenders, we got to get wins, even in tough games like this. We got to figure out how to get a win.
As you know these guys, your teammates, obviously, but you feel like y'all have what it takes to kind of fight out of this?
Absolutely. Going to practice tomorrow and make sure energy is high. Make sure nobody's tripping over what happened. Because like I say, you can't panic. There's no need to panic. We just have to have higher level of focus and take it one game at a time.
Obviously, frustration was high at the end, but how surprised it was to see 3 guys get tossed basically in 5 seconds.
So I had already got to the locker room, so I didn't even get to see it happen. But coach spoke to us about that. I don't know if he shared it, so I don't want to speak too much on it. But I think that's something we just got to talk about internally as a team.
Thanks, Steve.
You guys have a great night.
3 straight losses for the Pelicans, man, right now, and it's starting to sound like a broken record, man. Whether it's Willie Green or players off the team, man, and we starting to sound like a broken record here at the PPR crew, man. We talking about, and of course, Lex has a fantastic song with "Play with an Edge," trying to inspire the Pelicans to play with physicality, to play with an attitude, and to match and exceed. Not only just exceeding their physicality, they get physical. You have to match that and then push past it, and it's a battle.
Big
And
Q.
far too often we hearing the same thing, Lex, over and over again about people. If you want to do something with the Pelicans, just be physical with them, and that'll stifle them out. So I mean, you got the floor, Lex, and feel free to comment on what you heard from Zion.
Now, just what you were saying, we passed that point. We don't need to match it. We need to exceed. Like, it's not like you all aren't even hitting the matching part. You know what I'm saying? Whatever this team feels like they're doing, they need to do more. And if you feel like you're doing more, do more than that. Like that's where we're at. Like for some reason, like tonight, and I know Jay Black alluded to this, and I did see that because I wanted to talk about that. When I looked at the team on tonight, I mean, we could talk about the refereeing. I mean, it was sorry, but one of the first things I noticed was the team was going through the motions. Like you know, I know Larry Nance, he threw a soft pass and it was just a turnover. And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, just the small things. We were failing, like there was no conviction behind it. There was no passion. There was no get it to your man. When you make a pass, put something on it so it gets to your man. Don't make it all soft so the defense can steal it. Like it was too much going through the motions. As I was watching the game, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything. I felt like, everybody running the court, and it's sad. It's sad that you have to say, "Oh, well, we're missing Jose." Hey man, look, if I'm not mistaken, all them dudes out there are professional basketball players. Why do you need the smallest dude and the undrafted player who's not even making as much money as most of the guys that are out there? Why are we counting on him for energy? No, that's the wrong mentality, even for us as fans. Like, y'all got to go out there and play. You all understand the situation. You can't continue to talk about it. You have to do it. It's the do part. Like, you either want this or not. And really, I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at the way that they're moving. Just the desire to get the ball, getting into open spaces, like spacing the floor, cutting to the basket, different things like that. It's like, guys, where's the activity? And that's why it's like I keep going back to, how bad do you want it? Because I can talk all I want or have my master's, rock my master's degree on how I feel about Willie Green. But at the end of the day, it's like,
Will,
guys, players,
Lex is
like,
called Willie-nomics.
Willie foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't believe it. It's like, this has to be the players, man. Like, Willie can do all the talking that he wants. We already know what Willie's going to do. I'm tired of talking about Willie. I don't like him. We all know he's not a good coach. When Willie's put in a position where he really has to coach this team, the team is not going to win. You can, and you don't have to check the stats on that. Just look at, well, yeah, you can just watch the game, really. But the stats won't tell you that. But I mean, when the pressure is on, it's almost like it's a guaranteed L, man. And you hate to say that because obviously when your team is playing, you want to have hope that your team can come back. But this is a hardcore front-running team. The Pelicans can only win one way. They've only shown that they can win one way, and that's blowout wins. The other closest game was, again, the Spurs, against the Spurs, and against they won by 7 against the Bucks, if you consider that a close game. But other than that, the history of this team for all season, they've only been able to win blowout wins. This team has lost more in different ways than winning in different ways. What I mean by that is, this team has lost in blowouts. This team has lost in close games. This team has also lost having double-digit leads and then losing that double-digit lead and the other team winning. Those are all the 3 ways that the Pels have been losing. And compared to, as far as the Pels winning, it's the record is a landslide as far as close games. It's not close at all. So the Pelicans are not winning close games. If they get behind, the Pels are not winning those games. They're not winning those games. And if we have again, we're only winning blowout games consistently. And, at this point, that's not good because, everybody's playing very hard. That means we can't expect to blow out a team at this point, is what I'm saying. You can expect that the games are going to be close. Why, Lex? Well, the playoffs are around the corner and everybody's revved up their level of play. Everybody else is, and I know we're not worried about everybody else, but compared to what the Pelicans are doing, like, y'all got to do more, man. Like, this is not regular season anymore. Regular season was gone once post All-Star game, or post All-Star, basically. Regular season was gone. But now, coming down the stretch, I know Zion talked about panicking and things like that. No, it's not time to panic. It's not time to panic. I think he used the wrong word. But Zion, there is a sense of urgency. There's a sense of urgency. You don't have to panic, but you can move with a sense of urgency without panicking. But you got to do it. And I think that's the more appropriate, way to put it. No, you don't have to panic. We don't want you to panic. You panic is, you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's how you fall deeper into despair. You don't want to do that. So you gotta, man. This team's just gotta play, man. They just gotta play better. They gotta play better, smarter, and harder.
Yeah, I agree, Lex. I think a big problem with the Pelicans, man, it's definitely energy and effort. And the C word we talked about a lot on the show is with consistency, man. We just, it's we don't need all of the intricate, the pep rally stuff. We should know what's at stake at this juncture of time. 6 games remaining, man. Let me see if I can put the rest of the schedule up for the family members, so they can see what's going on. And of course, you see San Antonio's next on Friday. Next Sunday will be the Phoenix matchup, which will be a very interesting matchup for the Pelicans. And my take on it, the Pelicans should really refocus. They need to win as many as these games. Try to see if they can get all of them if they can. But the San Antonio matchup should be, and I said should be a win, because you heard what Zion said about his finger, that he went up to try to block a shot and slammed his finger up against the backboard really hard. So they're looking at that. So we don't know if he'll be available for the game Friday. I don't know. You know how they handle Zion Williamson. Lex did. I remember you tweeted about Zion Williamson, hitting the 65 game marker, which is big. And then this game here, he develops a finger issue that we hope is not dire, which he won't miss a lot of games. But to miss Zion NBI with the 6 games remaining in the season wouldn't be a good thing. Let's just say that. Anyway, let's get ready to head into the next matchup, man. The Pelicans got next with the Spurs. So, like I said, the Spurs are not a very good team, but they have an excellent center in Victor Wembanyama, who's playing on another level. Of course, this team, like I said, is only an 18-win team. They're kind of struggling on their end. They've lost 2 in a row. So this is like one of the games where you want to see the Pelicans. This should be like what we call a get right game for the Pelicans. After 3 really difficult losses to some very good teams, the Pelicans hope to rebound against one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. And then again, you can't overlook anybody, right? So we gotta have to go into this game. Hopefully Zion is well enough and Willie's coaching correctly. We'll be able to kind of break the 3-game winning streak, kind of steady ourselves, and kind of then get ready for the matchup to get on the road against the Suns, because that's going to be a big shindig going on with them. And of course, right now the Suns are up by 20 over Cleveland, almost in the central part of the third quarter. So you're probably going to see a flip-flopping thing going on right now. But the Pelicans had an opportunity to return to kind of keep where they were positioned in terms of their standings. But a 3-game losing streak at this point in the season is not a very good thing to undergo. Let's look at some of the statistics for the Spurs right now. Currently, as you can see, points per game, they're not very good. 22nd, opposing points 25, 24th in field goal percentage, 25th in opposing field goal percentage, 16th in 3-pointers made, 12th in assisted, 3-pointers attempted, 28 in percentage, 27 in free. So it's not very good numbers. They are a good assist team, second in the NBA with assists, and third in the NBA in blocks. You know why? In terms of who's there, reboundings, they're middle of the pack with 16. And of course, we know the Pelicans have to turn it on. They have to turn it up and turn it on against the San Antonio Spurs. So Wembanyama's the thing, but like I said, the way they're playing, I'm going to say the Pels should get this W over the Spurs. Now, if they lose, now anything's possible, but the Pelicans should get this win over the Spurs. If they lose to the Spurs, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro, which I don't think they are. I'm going to go and say the Pelicans finally break the 3-game losing streak against them and maybe build up towards something, because that Suns matchup is going to be dire. The Suns matchup is going to be dire, and this is the position that they put themselves in. San Antonio, Phoenix, Portland should get W as well. We're going to see.
Yeah, for you, in the fourth quarter, did it feel like anything changed to allow you to get into a little bit of rhythm there, or anything like that?
No, I was just more decisive, made some open shots, created a little bit more space. But, I had some great looks in the first half. I missed 2 floaters in and out, 2 threes in and out. It happens. I got to get off to better starts. But I think for us, collectively, we were just more aggressive. Got to be aggressive throughout the game, and sense of urgency. You need a sense of urgency earlier in the games, and I think that'll be the difference for us going forward.
Yeah, for you guys, this is a second game in a row with a pretty low 3-point attempts. I think you guys were under 30. Was there anything they were doing tonight to just limit you guys from the arc?
They're a good defensive team. I think they're rated the second best defensive team in the NBA. So they make you play in the yard. They load up on the paint and they close out well. They do a good job of playing well out of scrambles, and some of it was us missing shots. Some of it was them just playing good defense. But I think, these last 6 games we're playing against good teams, good defensive teams. They got good offense. They got, star power. So you're not going to get open looks all the time. It becomes more of a half-court game, and that's why it's really important you get stops and then you can get out, run, and transition and be more free.
Now, obviously, guys are going to be pissed about losing, but how would you assess just where the guys are right now? Does this kind of feel different than some of the lows y'all experienced early this season?
We got 45 wins with 6 games left. It's not the end of the world. We would have liked to win more games at home during this homestand. We would like to have clinched the playoffs already. But if you would have told me we got 6 games left before the playoffs starts and we got a way to control our own destiny, I would have said, I'll take that. So, you got to look at it 2 ways, right? We got to be better, obviously. We got to get back to the basics, but it's also not the end of the world. We lost some games that we feel like we should have won, but still games left to be played. We still have a say in how the season is going to finish up for us, and we still have control over how we play, and hopefully we can get some wins and lock in this playoff seed.
Does it feel like there's something that's kind of connected these losses that y'all need to address, whether it be offensively or just focus or execution? Or do you think there's something like bigger picture y'all need to address?
The game just ended. I haven't even watched the game yet, so I'll have to watch the game. But we gave up 117 points. We had 7 technicals, so that's 7 free throws. That's 110. That's not a bad defense tonight. Gave up 26 in the fourth. A lot of technical free throws. We was in a bonus early in the first quarter. So we just got to do a better job of guarding smarter. We guard well, but we got to guard smarter. Getting in foul trouble early, getting them in the bonus early makes it harder to play defense. But that second quarter, we gave up 34 points. We gave up 33 in the third. That was the difference in the game, really. So we got to be better defensively. And I think from an offensive standpoint, continuing to play 0.5, getting downhill. I had, 4 turnovers. So I think it's the little stuff, right? I can't control me making or missing shots. I get my work in every day.
I watch film. I pride myself on being prepared, but I can control for a turnover. So I think it's about us just figuring out collectively, individually, how can we be better for our team? How can we control some of those things? And making and missing shots is a part of the game, but we got to be better at the things that we can actually control.
And what was kind of the reactions to seeing 3 guys tossed at the end of the game, back to back to back like that?
Yeah, that was tough. This is an emotional game. Everything, that happened probably shouldn't have happened, but we got to be better. And I think some of it was questionable ejection. I don't know what Trey said. I think Trey said something, but then I was by Dyson when Dyson got thrown out. I don't think that he should have been ejected for that, for what we said. He didn't say a curse word or anything. He just agreed with what Trey said, and he threw him out. So I was like, that's kind of tough. I think, they obviously wanted to get control of the game, but there's 7 seconds left now. Like, the deed is done. Let the game end and let us go home. But we got to be better. It's a growth moment for us to learn. And you got to win with class. You got to lose with class, and it's a part of it. And obviously, we was all frustrated. We all wanted to win, but credit them. They played well, and they beat us.
CJ, do you feel like some of the frustrations came from stuff that happened earlier in the game? Like, for instance, I think Gary Harris may have slipped, but he still took Z out from underneath his feet.
Yeah, I mean, it looked dirty, but I know G. We all know G. He's not a dirty player, but it looked bad, and I fouled Suggs, and I'm sure it looked bad. But we all just trying to compete and trying to win. At the end of the day, we're gonna protect each other and protect our teammates and do what we can to win the game. And I don't necessarily think that was the issue. I think it was a collective 48 minutes of inconsistencies throughout the game, where I think that causes frustration sometimes, because since what, January or February, like, the game has been referee different, right? Like, I mean, it's no secret. It's the least amount of free throw attempts per game since 1930, 1940, since before it was the NBA. So the game is being refereed differently, right? So we've adjusted to that, and then you have a game like tonight where they're calling fouls like it's pre-January, so it's just confusing. And I think that's the frustration, and the frustrating part is like, we've been guarding like this for like 20 games, and these aren't fouls, for those 20 games we played, and now these are fouls, and then we get guarded the same way, and it's like it's just confusion. I think we just got to get a better understanding of how the game's going to be called every night, because tonight was different than how it's been. Like, I shot 11 free throws. I went 5 games, and I shot 3 free throws through 5 games. I had multiple 5-game stretches where I wouldn't shoot free throws for 3 or 4 games. If I'm shooting the ball 20 times a night, somebody's hitting me at some point, right? So I think that's why we were just a little confused with how the game was being officiated tonight.
CJ, a lot of young guys on the roster are pretty confident that mentally they're able to fight through.
Yeah, we'll be fine, man. We'll be fine. We know what needs to be done. They here for a reason.
All right. There goes CJ McCollum. Lex, this was this is just awful. Let's get ready to move forward. Let's take a look at the Spurs matchup here with Victor Wembanyama and his team coming up. They, I think, currently on a 2-game losing streak. I think they're the worst team in the Western Conference. Only 18 wins, 18-58. Like I said, 2-game losing streak, 4 and 6 of the last 10 games. This is a get right game for the Pelicans, a bit of an aspirin game, so to speak, where they coming along right at the right time, where the Pelicans need to get a win and to kind of catapult themselves into the remaining road games that we have, the 4 road games starting on Sunday with a tough Phoenix team and then Portland and so on and so forth. So let's kind of go into this matchup with the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about, how horrible or how much, the Spurs, they stink, or how much they've lost. I'm not really looking at those things. I'm more focused on how the Pelicans need to come out. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter who we play. The Pelicans need to come out and play hard. They need to do more. They need to play with a lot of energy. They could be playing the Wizards. They could be playing Detroit. Like, I don't care about the who now. It's like, dude, y'all need to come out the right way and play like you are trying to make some noise and prepare for the playoffs. It's the preparation part. It's bigger than just, oh, well, we're playing the Spurs, they're really bad and all that stuff. Man, it's the how. It's like, what's the goal here? Like, you all have to, like, you just got finished playing Boston, got finished playing, the Suns, got finished playing the Magic. All these are playoff teams. They're playoff teams. And for the most part, with the exceptions of the Magic, that was within the game was lost within 10 points, but they were blowouts. They were blowouts. I mean, there's a lot of things like the energy wasn't matched. You definitely didn't exceed it because we couldn't even get to the match part. Like, I don't know what the practices are like. I'm starting to feel like they're just like the halftime talks. I like, does somebody, like, do they need to bring like a pit bull in, or, just something to, one of them hunting dogs or something to get them revved up or like scare them into like playing better? Like, something needs to be done, but whatever they doing, it ain't working. Like, y'all need to get something to fire you all up. I don't know what that is, but you can't come out of the second half or come into a game lackluster. You got to come in knowing, hey, man, we are on a mission. We're trying to prepare for the playoffs, and we are trying to set a precedence of playing with at a playoff level, which is a very high level, higher than what you would see in regular season. That's what we're trying to get to. But you're not going to get to that if the effort is not there, if the energy isn't there, if you're coming out lackluster. Like, this is you just can't do that. You got to do better than that. Got to do better than that. But like I always say, energy. You got to come out with the right energy. You got to play at a high level. That's what you got to do. Like, you either want this or you don't. At least act like you want it, but going through the motions is not doing it. It's like you're wasting everybody's time. Like, I want to see this team do very well, but these guys at some point in time, we can talk about Willie all we want. We can talk about the refs all we want, but at some point in time, we got to, y'all got to want this. It can't just be the fans or, AD and Joel and, anybody else. Like, the guys y'all got to go out there and do it. CJ talked about playing with a sense of urgency. And that's what I was stating. Like, it's not about panicking. It's about playing with a sense of urgency. It's okay. Look, the talking is done. You got to show it now. I don't want you to tell me anything. I want you to do it. The actions speak way louder than words. There's a reason why that's a saying, why people say that all the time. Believe someone's actions over what they're saying. And right now, the fans need to believe, like, we're looking at the action part. And this is just for anybody. This is just for anybody. It is for Willie. It is, but mainly it's for the players, man. Look, we're looking at your actions. We're tired of the repetition. I ain't trying to hear about nobody giving nobody credit. I'm not trying to hear like, hey, we got to match energy and, they were more physical than us. I'm not trying to hear that stuff no more. The action, man, that's what fans are looking at. The action part. It's that part right there. It's not what you're saying. You already know what you're saying. That's already been addressed. But now it's that action part. So let's do it. Stop talking about it and go out there and do it. It's not hard. Play the game that you love, that you've worked your butt off ever since you were 5 years old, and go out there and play the game at the highest level with the best players in the world. That's it.
Yep, that's what it comes down to, man. We got to make it pop, man. This is getting serious. 6 games remaining in the schedule, and I put a poll up, man, in the chat to the family members. Shout out to the fam that voted. For those who hadn't, you got a few seconds to get your vote in. The question is, how many wins do the Pelicans get in the last 6 games? With 6 games remaining, is it 5 games? Is it 4? Is it 3 or 2 or less? And according to the poll, currently, the winner is by 44%, 3 games. So a lot of people believe that the Pelicans will split. They're going to go 3-3 with the 6 remaining games. I know you can see, and I can basically see which games the family members that's picking for three is saying. You're looking at the Portland, you're looking at the Spurs, you're looking at Portland, possibly the Kings. So a lot of people think they're not going to beat Golden State. A lot of people think they're not going to beat the Suns or the Lakers to close out the year. So I don't know. Doc says what 3? I'm thinking Doc thinking 2. All right, but yeah, 3 games is what the poll says. 40% of our pollers, man, currently the flock has 40% are voting for 3 games. 2 or less is 35%. Wow, is the second, and 25% for 4 games. So there you go. So yeah, a few seconds we're going to end that poll. But what 3 says PK? What 3?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, if they continue to play like this, I mean, it could be worse. And I think everybody's being nice with it being 3. But I think what we're seeing, again, what they're showing us, y'all going through the motions. The effort's not there, the energy's not there, the hunger's not there, the will is not there, the heart is not there. All those things that you cannot measure, those things are not there. I mean, it's not there. And those things are the difference makers. Those are the difference makers. Diving on the floor, winning the 50-50 balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, making the right pass, being in the right spots. You know what I'm saying? Like running the floor. All those things, those aren't stats. That's just like, man, let me bust my butt, get down for it. Let me get this stop. Let me just stick my hand in there. Maybe my hand can make a defender or make the offensive player tip the ball and the ball go out of bounds, and it'll be ours. It's stuff like that makes the difference. That's playoff basketball. It's basically everything that you cannot measure at a higher level. That's what playoff basketball is. That's why it's a different breed. And not only that, exploiting mismatches to a T, because it's definitely a different breed there, because all you doing is focusing on one team. That means you can exploit a team's weaknesses and really go in. That's why, you're able to tell if somebody can dribble with their left hand or not. You know what I'm saying, Big Q? Like, dang, well, how have they been doing that? It looked like they could dribble with their left hand all season. Well, now they in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So they've been dissected. And the other team realized that, oh, this dude, he can't dribble with his left hand. Jump on it. And that's why, you start to see, a lot of things really, really pop out. Like, dang, like he's never been able to dribble with that hand, or whatever it is, or, crossover or specific moves. But you see it all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely heightened in the playoffs. Like a lot of your weaknesses is put on full blast, man. And when you hit them, man. So yeah, it's a different beast, man. No doubt about it. But like I said, 6 games remaining, man. And CJ did mention urgency. This team has to get real, man. So I think I know a lot of family members kind of down on them right now because of the last 3 games, and rightfully so. But I'm looking at them and I'm saying, man, listen, the season over if you can't beat the San Antonio Spurs. This is the worst team in the Western Conference, despite the fact that they have a very promising player in Victor Wembanyama, but not too much else that they're dealing with. So, I mean, the Pelicans, if they consider themselves a playoff team and a team they challenge in the West, they have to beat the worst team in the Western Conference. And maybe this will catapult them to finish the season strong, because that should be the sticking point of the overriding message is to finish the season strong. That's what it's about. If you do that, then you set yourself up for a very beautiful near future playoff situation. If you don't, then you'll definitely be thrusted into the potential play-in, and depending on how many games you lose. So we don't need much more to think about that in. Like CJ said, man, if I control my destiny, yeah, this is true. They do have control of their destiny, and they're currently on a 3-game losing streak. So it's good and bad there. These guys got to lock in. That's the bottom line. Anyway, with that being said, y'all feel free to hit the like button. Y'all feel free to hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Tasha. She in here. They've been waiting for this one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ain't no we'll see, Tasha. We're going to take care of them old Spurs. You know what I'm saying? You tell my dog, Sean, get ready for a loss.
I thought he was up in here.
Did he? What is he? Was he in here? Is he in here?
I thought he was. I thought I saw his picture.
You up in here, Sean? Say something, man. I won't be talking to myself, brother. Say something. I know Tasha. She bucking her eyes. She sees.
Yeah.
Say something, brother. I don't be talking to myself, man. I'm talking smack to you and the Spurs, man. We got to take care of business. Ain't no doubt about it, man. This ain't no.
He knocked out. Oh, okay.
Hey,
yeah, look, got to save his energy up for the game and all that stuff.
Oh, Tasha said he knocked out.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the thing, though, Lex. If you lose to the Spurs, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. But
the Spurs. I mean, if they don't win no games at all, which is worse. I mean, I don't even think we wouldn't even be in the play-in, would we?
I don't need much for to walk down that street, to be honest.
I'm just, like I said, they just gotta come with it, man. They gotta come with it. Hey man, I don't know what y'all trying to say for the playoffs. Chicken, there ain't gonna be no playoffs if y'all don't play. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better play. Look, I almost feel like you know how they have those celebrity boxing matches?
Yes.
I don't know who was fighting, but they whoever was out there, they were fighting horrible. And somebody yelling in the crowd, they basically, man, fight or you don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically the same thing. Hey, if y'all don't go out there and play, like there's no man, playoffs, there's no play in. Like, and look, I don't know if they're trying to conserve energy or what. But it's like, look, right now, ain't nobody trying to, keep their game a secret. Or I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a flip the switch when I get to the playoffs. No. You have to train your mind, train your body, train your game for the playoffs. We're not trying to be secretive about this stuff. Y'all just need to go out there and play a game and stop going through the motions, man. I mean, it ain't no time for that because this team already lacks experience. And you're even seeing that just in the preparation stages of the playoffs that, the experience is not there. But I don't know. You look at Orlando, they young and it seemed like they got it together. Seemed like everybody else got it together, man.
Yeah, they got to turn it on, man. No doubt about it for this one. But we're going to see, fam. Friday, man. We'll be back here Friday to recap the Pelicans matchup against the Spurs. The last of the home games in the Smoothie King Center. So they got to close out with a dub, and hopefully that'll propel them to as they travel to Phoenix to take on the Suns. That's another really pivotal primetime matchup we're going to be keeping our eyes on as well. And like I said, I've been looking, keeping tracks of them tonight. They are. Let me see if I can see the standings on what they got going on. With the right now they beating Cleveland 98-77 in the third quarter.
Shoot, we helped Big Q. We woke up the Suns, man.
Yeah.
We woke them up. Because
man.
I don't know if anybody has been seeing the Suns games. I've been watching the Suns. Everybody who's close to the Pelicans, I've been watching them a little bit more. They were so up and down, like they weren't playing well. When they played the Pelicans, it's like they found the fountain of youth or something. Like, they're clicking now. They got chemistry. And now you done woke them up. All they needed was a game against the Pelicans. That's all they needed.
Man, them people got 14 3-pointers right now. And they ain't even started the fourth quarter yet. They firebombing the Cavaliers right now, man. So they're gonna knock them out of here. And by the time we wake up in the morning later on, not even that long ago, we'll see a shift in the Western Conference standings.
Well, hopefully playing the Spurs will wake us up and we'll start hitting 53s or something.
But that's what I'm saying. It's now a destiny thing, like really hitting hard destiny, because some of the teams that they'll be matching up as teams that'll be chasing them down, like the Kings are right up under them by half a game. The Kings
like the Pelicans are giving everybody around them hope. Like, okay, great. Yeah, the Pelicans are out. Like, yeah, y'all can, keep on moving on down and stuff. But
ain't nobody else is slide, Lex. If you look,
nobody else. Everybody else is moving up.
Yeah, nobody's.
The Pelicans are moving down, making way for somebody else. And I'm like, dog, come on, man, come on.
Yeah, it's pathetic, man. But like I said, we'll be back. We'll be back Friday. We'll be back Friday. We'll open up the phone lines for the family members to chime in on our Friday stream as we see. I'm gonna just speak it into existence. I say we get the dub. I know to the chagrin of Tasha. I think the Pels take care of business against the Spurs, and I'm gonna be really looking at what happens on the Sunday matchup with the Phoenix Suns. That's gonna be another really interesting matchup, and pretty much all the rest of these games heading toward the end of the season based on what the Pelicans will do. Losing these 3 games in a row is not a very good thing at all. It is. They had a little cushion, but losing 3 in a row while everybody else around us are winning games and doing their thing, that's chasing. The Warriors are 5 in a row, the Lakers are 3 in a row, Suns are going to be 2 in a row, the Kings are 2 in a row, and the Pelicans, the teams that's in the top 10, they are. I mean, you see the Thunder; they lost 2 in a row, but the Thunder have won 52 games. They're still a game out.
They clinched too, Big Q.
So there you go, man. It's all in our hands, man. We can be a 50-win squad if we get up off our asses and start playing with effort for a full game, and just I don't know, man. We'll see how it all ends. With that being said, we're gonna get out on that, man. I don't want to leave y'all. And because a lot of people kind of pissed about it tonight, and hopefully they can perform better Friday, and we'll see how it all goes. So anyway, with that being said, y'all hit the like button for us, man. PPR final win this thing. Pelicans, they go down 117-108 to Paulo and his Magic, and he was putting on the show. CJ did the best he can do tonight. As an effort, the Pelicans weren't there. We'll see what happened with Zion's finger issue tomorrow. Hopefully it's not nothing dire where he'll miss some games, because missing BI and Zion in the last 6 games, it's not good. We probably could take care of business against a Spur team, but anybody else that's, a challenger probably won't have some issues. So
real quick, Big Q, so he fell on his finger? Because I didn't see that play because I was out.
Well, he said the question was asked, how did he hurt his finger? He said he hurt his finger going for a block. He slammed it, according to what he said in the presser. Trying to block the ball. He hit it on the backboard, and it was giving him problems. Because I thought he hurt it when the guy undercutting him, he went down. But if you look at the footage, he kind of had a flat hand to kind of prop himself up or try to stop him from falling as hard. So I was like, okay, but he said that he hit it trying to block a shot. He hit it on the backboard pretty hard. And he said he played it really cautious like, and he said there should be an update sometime tomorrow morning. He's saying we're going to get it looked at. So hopefully it's nothing dire.
Yeah, I think he going to play though. I mean, he's been doing a good job staying healthy, but at this point, he's trying to change the narrative for himself. Try not to have that injury-prone title. And he's been doing well this year. The dude's been available, but he hit 65 games today, y'all. Just to let y'all know, which is good.
Yes,
that's the most games that Zion has played in his career. So this was a transition year for him as far as being available, and he has been available. So I think he'll play. He gonna fight through that jump.
Oh, I'm rocking with you on that energy, Lex. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna rock with you on that.
What's that mean, Vicky?
I'm gonna rock with you on that. Because we don't need any more. The team playing up and down right now, not with full effort, and with the last thing we need is the number one source of points and in the center of your team having some type of weird ass injury right now with 6 games remaining in the club. It'll just be a big tease. If it's anything more than that, hopefully it's nothing happened with him, the undercutting that they find out and all this kind of stuff. Hopefully get BI back fast, man. And they said before the end of the season, we heard that last year when they said that about Zion. We should get Zion back before the playoffs, and that never happened, never materialized. It just dangled the carrot on us.
That was a publicity stunt.
They dangled the carrot. That was all the octopus operating there. But I love that, man. We gonna see how it all shapes up. So listen, family, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show. Listen, we'll be back Friday, like I said, and we'll recap the win over the San Antonio Spurs. So much love to the family. I'm going to holler at you on the next one. Go Pels.
Go Pels.
Show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Better, smarter, baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning time to come up and bring out the outlook. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice. The will, the heart, the fire. Show them the proof, show them the it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the pro Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shops.